on the next episode of Sips, Suds, and Smokes.
Well, today we're going to take a tour of the old line state called Maryland, for those of you that don't know. On a recent trip back home, I picked up a few beers from several breweries and brought them back home to share with my favorite good old boys.
And Mike.
Because we probably have more beers today than we have time to discuss, we're going to try something a little different. I have assigned each beer a random letter between A and I. Starting with Kendall, each good old boy will pick a letter, and then that's the beer that we're going to talk about. And no, Dave, you can't pick the same letter twice.
What if the beer's really good, though?
No.
We could talk about it again.
Maybe at the end. Okay?
That's
All
fair.
right.
Just keep an open mind.
Sure.
We'll be right back after this break. Brought to you almost live from the Dude in the Basement Studios. Why? Because that's where the good stuff is. It's Sips, Suds, and Smokes with your smoking hosts, the good old boys. Suds. It's time for more Suds.
Welcome, everyone. Gather around, sit down, make yourself comfortable. This is a Suds segment where we feel good beer is best when paired with bad accents and long belches.
That would be me.
For both.
You know, if you're wondering what part I'm going to play, I'm going to step in to offer both of those.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You're the hostess with the mostest.
And bad belches, or bad accents and long belches. Yeah.
I am one of your hosts, good old Gal Julieanna. Joining me at this illustrious table today is good old Boy Kendall.
Hello, it's a pleasure to be here.
Hey. Good old boy Mike.
Are you feeling illustrious?
I am.
Okay. What was that, Dave?
He bites.
I do. I don't like this beer.
Reverend Mark, hello.
Hello. Good to be here with you all.
Good old boy Dave.
Milk is for babies. When you grow up, you have to drink beer.
The
Words
thing
to live
is
by.
I wonder how much time does he spend on picking these out? Is it like 15 minutes or 17 minutes or like
It's a few
3
hours.
hours?
It's gotta be
3
3
hours.
per
I'm with
week.
Kendall. I think that's pretty close.
Usually it's a crime of opportunity. I'll just hear something and
And then there it is.
Fine.
And then he's,
Wow.
wait, stop, hold.
pull over
And
the
then come
car.
back. Yeah, exactly.
I'm so bored at this moment. I just found the perfect thing.
Well, today we're going to take a tour of the old line state called Maryland, for those of you that don't know. On a recent trip back home, I picked up a few beers from several breweries and brought them back home to share with my favorite good old boys.
And Mike.
Yes. Because we probably have more beers today than we have time to discuss, we're going to try something a little different. I have assigned each beer a random letter between A and I. Starting with Kendall, each good old boy will pick a letter, and then that's the beer that we're going to talk about. And no, Dave, you can't pick the same letter twice.
What if the beer's really good, though?
No.
We could talk about it again.
Maybe at the end.
Okay.
All
That's
right.
fair. Just keep an open mind.
Sure.
Okay.
But before we start picking beers, Reverend Mark, please bless us with the Suds readings for today.
I would be very glad to. We will be discussing and rating these beers with these Suds ratings, plus our signature belching sounds. Here are those ratings now. Number 1, that sucks. Give me anything but a butt. Number 2, was that a belch? Number 3, Ah, what a relief. Number 4, a body should really not make that sound. And number 5, listen to that hang time. Give me another.
It was righteous.
I thought he was going to have a little fun with it. Like, go forth, my son. Sin no more and belch no more.
Yeah, since I've gotten
He used just his natural.
since I retired, I
Feel
just
repentant. The body should really not make that sound.
I was wanting a Maryland accent.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. I'm like, I think I would characterize most people from Maryland. They just have one basic question. So you're not from around here, are you? So, because nobody is from Maryland. They're all like, transplants. I don't know anybody that is a native of Maryland. They all moved from somewhere else to be in Maryland. Yeah.
True.
So, yeah.
Well, there you go. People like crabs.
So, we ready to pick a letter?
We're ready to pick
man.
a letter.
Okay.
What letter are you going to pick?
Let the swan dive begin.
Let's go with F.
Oh.
Uh-oh. Womp, womp.
No, I wouldn't say that, actually.
we're going to have an effing good time.
I don't like that
Are gonna
insolent
have
tone.
An effing good time, provided that I find F.
Don't
Juliana, do you want us
don't
to
F this
Do you
up.
want us to read the description while you're pouring beers to help you out in
Yeah,
logistics?
that would be
What's F?
So what's F? And I'll read it.
lovely if I could. I don't know that it's here.
Oh, we'll pick a different.
They're
letter.
all here. What is F?
Are you sure?
What is it?
It's the Oktoberfest.
All right.
Oh,
Wow. It's a lucky guess.
It was a very, very lucky guess.
You're gonna have to pick another letter.
we will
because
come
that-
back.
we
We'll
will-
come back to F.
Yeah, we'll come back to F.
I was sure no one would want that beer. So
C.
C. Okay. The color of electricity, grapefruit shandy
Cool.
Oh, my.
How about I read
from
this while you?
Sapwood Cellars.
How about I read
Yeah.
this while you're pouring?
oh, that
first?
one's going to be easy to find.
Cover electricity grapefruit shandy from Sapwood Cellars Brewery in Columbia, Maryland.
Sapwodo.
I don't know. The ABV
It's
on this
Sapwood.
Sapwood.
Typo.
How is he? No, I just no.
I just haven't
He
ever-
just can't read, honey.
Actually,
Sapwodo. That's what it is.
Nah, I didn't do that.
5.2%
That's from the
is the
website.
ABV. A real deal shandy. We infused a Pilsner with fresh grapefruit zest from a bright citrusy aroma. Then we blended it in grapefruit juice for sweetness, acidity, and even more grapefruit flavor. I can't wait for this.
Boy, you're
oh
gonna
my
be
gosh.
thinking
I'm
about
just-
that
I'm
Oktoberfest.
thinking
That's some grapefruit there.
should have had a full exit strategy before this. So
Reverend Mark.
finally, we gave a high carbonation for that fuzzy tingling feeling on your tongue. That is positively electric.
Wow.
So
Oh, those were some.
this was a shandy that didn't make the shandy show. Yeah, there you go.
Who knew?
This shandy's,
Well, it smells.
this shandy's too good for the shandy show. I actually like it.
Huh. It has a lot of body to it. Is the first thing that's striking.
It tastes
Yeah.
like a beer with a little bit of grapefruit.
It'd be interesting to taste the Pilsner.
Oh, yeah.
So if you
the
don't
underlying Pilsner, yeah.
So if you want to know the difference between a shandy and a rattler, go back, listen to the episode that we did on shandy and rattlers. It'll tell you the difference between those. But they literally mean juice blended with beer is the short answer. to
More or
that.
less.
And this one's really well done. I'm not generally a shandy fan, but I like
Yeah.
this.
I think the ABV is like probably right around where it should be.
5.2%. Sure.
Yeah, that's about right. You know?
Kind of brunch material or
Yeah.
something. Yeah.
Yeah. I could almost pretend this was a mimosa in a way. Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. This is a beer lover's mimosa.
So many of them overdo
Great.
it with the juice.
Yep.
And this is very, I feel like it's very lightly added, and you really get the beer out of this.
Yeah. The juice is not obliterating the beer.
Oh God, no.
Yeah.
No.
So-
But it's good, solid grapefruit. It's like it's almost pithy, but not pithy, but a really good, genuine grapefruit flavor. It's not that,
I agree. This is
You don't get a
Candy
mouthful
coated.
of
This is
pith.
a great brunch choice for somebody that's sitting there at the table going, I don't like champagne. You know, well, try this.
Yeah, this would like cut through the richness of an Eggs Benedict.
Yep.
Very nice.
Or you could just drink this after mowing the yard or sitting on
Really good.
sitting
Good
on a
hot weather
boat.
beer.
Yeah.
Being on a beach.
Yeah.
Yeah. Having some crabs with it. We are going to rate this actually beautiful specimen of a shandy, the color of electricity, from Sapwood Cellars in Columbia, Maryland, a 4.
So it's not Sapwodo.
I
Dave, you're great.
I know. That's true.
Hey, y'all tell me where to get Sapwodo. Well,
Knock a sucker out.
just get on 995, keep going north. Where it says, welcome to Jersey, you ain't there.
It says, welcome to Jersey. You went too far.
Oh, okay. Go to Boy Mike.
Pick your
a letter.
favorite letter. That's not F or C.
Let's see. I am going to pick G.
Oh, not G. That's the worst of all letters.
This is the Wye Island American Pale Ale. Why don't you talk about that?
The Wye American Pale Ale from Eyck. I think that's how you say
Yep.
it. Brewing.
Eyck. Yeah.
Who knows with Dave's misspellings here? Brewing Company in Queenstown, Maryland. 6.5%. Wye Island is a gem of the Eastern Shore. This APA was brewed to be gluten reduced and dry hopped with Citra and Cascade for a citrusy, crisp summer pale ale. Eyck means at the oak.
Eyck is actually also a female and veteran-owned brewery. So there you go.
Very good.
What war?
A little bit of something for you.
What war? What war were they in?
Oh, the drug war. I don't know.
Gosh.
Really?
I don't. You know what? I wasn't prepared. Okay, Reverend Mark threw me a curveball.
And they wonder how I know that the lawsuits are coming.
They're always coming.
Wow.
Yeah, hand me that, Reverend Mark. After you hand me that question I can't answer and got us in trouble.
Oh, gosh. Okay. Nice. Okay, just very soothing can art. 'Cause
Nice
it's
can
a
art.
nice view. Yeah.
And a nice beer. I'm digging it.
Yeah.
It's got a little bit of bitterness back there, kind of a traditional pale ale going on.
Yeah. What do you think, Mikey?
I think it's very well balanced. I like what it's not, which is overdone. Sometimes when some people hand me an APA, I go, all right, so this is just going to be somebody's, muted version of an IPA. And they're not
Session
really
IPA.
offering, full homage specifically to an APA. And I think this is style-wise right on target. So I like what it's not, which it is not overdone.
Yes, quaffable.
Yes. I was actually thinking of that word.
Broke it out.
And not
from
just
the
because
lexicon.
you're
This
here
is
with
pitcher
us.
beer. Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, and I
Very
wonder
easy.
what does it mean
Yeah.
when it is partially gluten free?
We'll see. We'll return in just a minute. Welcome back, everyone. So we are doing sort of a grab bag from Maryland today. And the beer that we were talking about right before the break is the Wye Island American Pale Ale from Eyck Brewing Company in Queenstown, Maryland. And I happen to think this is a very fine everyday drinking
This is
beer.
a good APA.
Yep.
Yep. I mean, really good if you're going to the shore, you
Yep.
know, or just
And during the break, I paid it one of the highest compliments I can of a pale ale, which is it kind of reminds me of Sierra Nevadas.
Yep.
yeah.
Interesting.
No, it kind of does. So we are going to rate this beer a 4 because it's that good.
Excellent.
Okay. So before the break, Kendall picked a letter. Now we're going to talk about that letter.
You know what? You can all sit on that letter. How about that?
Whatever. Go to Boy Mike. Why don't you tell us about that Oktoberfest?
Letter F was the Oktoberfest beer from Jailbreak Brewing Company in Laurel, Maryland. This 5.5%. Our Oktoberfest is our take on the traditional Bavarian Märzen lager. Unabashedly, man, Dave would have never gotten that word. Malt forward, this medium-bodied dry lager exemplifies balance between a carefully curated selection of German malts, ester-free lager yeast, and the appropriate tinge of the continental hop character. Captivating aromas of actively baking bread and palate sensations of toffee-laced sourdough crust punctuate every aspect of the drinking experience. Is it a drinking experience or just a beer?
From now on, you will speak only when spoken to.
To the extent that our arms are already tired from raising our steins. All right. Wow. Boy.
There you go.
That violated everything I know about beer descriptions. It was way beyond 5 words.
But maybe that's not so bad.
All right. So in the hallows of... So I'm confessing up front, I have this standard for all Oktoberfest beers.
Which is?
And every, God forbid, fall nightmare is that I decided that I'm only going to like 2 all season, and that's it. So good luck. Because I just can't tolerate, the concept of 400 different Märzen beers. Really, do we have to do that? Can't we all just have Hackeshore and call it a day?
Or Polliner.
Yeah, that would be fun too.
It's not bad.
Yeah,
good.
It is bready.
It is.
Toffee.
This does not suck.
No, it's a good beer. It's got that classic, noble hop bitterness back there.
Yeah.
I like it.
A little bit of sweetness.
It's very good this cold.
That's why, that's the real reason why I had to keep it out in the cooler.
I would say the vast majority of Märzens, man, you get them warming up a bit, and they just turn into sugar bombs, and you're like scraping tough off your tongue and off the roof of your mouth, and you're like, I just need a big fat pretzel, Yeah.
Tasty.
Yep.
This is very easy. Very easy.
If I had to pick on the other common characteristic with Märzens that I don't like is that the sugars are burnt. And this does not have that quality at all. This is well balanced.
Like
It's
too
a
much
good beer.
caramel.
Yeah, absolutely. Too much caramel malt, and it just, feels like it's attacking instead of complementing, whatever it is you're eating at the moment.
Well, and if you think too about like what Oktoberfest beers are supposed to be about, like you should be able to drink a lot of it.
Big old stein.
And like get a big old stein of it. And this, I think you could
at
drink a big stein.
5.5%?
Yeah, you could probably pound this pretty well.
Oh yeah.
But it's also not like what you said too, though, Mike, is like with all the extra burnt sugars, or like everybody's saying like it's not too sweet. You get like a big old thing of a beer that's too sweet. After a while, you just really start to get full and you're not feeling it after a few sips,
Yeah, my sense is that, this is very malt forward, doesn't have the caramel sweetness, which would imply, at least to me, that they use a really highly kiln caramel malt just in very, very low quantities, just to give some color.
Yeah. It's fair.
Yeah, they weren't heavy-handed about it at all.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's great.
Like a 120 Lovabond and just
Yeah,
a little
sure.
of that.
Sure. Well, we are going to rate this Oktoberfest from Jailbreak a 4.
Wow. That was
I had to work out the average.
Wow.
jazz hands, or I don't know what was going on there.
Okay. Reverend Mark, we have done C, G, and F.
Okay.
Give me a letter.
I'm going to go with my favorite letter of all time.
What's your favorite letter?
That's letter B. Letter B.
Well, that one is the
Tommy, you double parked out here.
that one is the Totes Oats.
Totes my oats.
All right.
Oh, that'll be all right.
B stands for band. That's good enough for me. B is for band.
So Totes My Oats is...
Oh, I'm sorry. I need to read this.
That's all right.
Totes My Oats, the oatmeal stout from Crooked Crab Brewing Company in Odenton, Maryland. 5.2%. Our English style oatmeal stout is classic and sessionable. Crafted with a base of English pale malt and a double-decker busload of oats for a full body. That is a lot going on. A medium crystal melanodin, and boy, I didn't say that correct. Chocolate malts provide a rich malty backbone, while roasted barley and a midnight wheat provide classic roasty flavors. This stout pairs well with bangers and mash, mince pies, and good times with your mates at the pub.
Nice.
I love this. Like, totally rad flavor. Our pal Odie McGoatface surfed a tidal wave of oats to bring you this beer. Chock full of creamy oats and gnarly roasted malts for a full body and rich flavor.
Totes my oats.
That's cute. Okay.
Odie McGoatface.
Now, when was the last time that you guys had an oatmeal stout?
It's been a while.
Probably the last oatmeal stout episode we did.
Right.
Pretty much. Yeah, I don't know why that's the case.
That is really good.
Oh, wow.
That is
I
really good.
think that, yes, I think combining oysters with oatmeal stout is probably a pretty good pairing that I usually take on.
Which seems odd, but it
works.
Yeah. This is a good beer, man. And what I really love about this beer is like, people get weird about dark beers and they're like, oh, they're so big and da-da-da. This is a 5.2% beer.
And it's light bodied.
It is.
Light bodied, so it's not thick or sludgy or anything weird, but it's got a nice flavor to it, man.
And usually you don't think an oatmeal stout's going to be that light bodied, but it is, but you still get that creaminess. It's super smooth.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely the thing that I'm looking for in most oatmeal stouts is it watery or is it sugary and heavy bodied?
Yeah.
And this has really good, this is right down the middle.
Yep,
I think
yep.
this is a splitting, right down through all of that. Usually the standard is like, that I hold up is this better or worse than the Sam Smith,
Wow.
Yeah, I know. Well, I mean, that's a really
That's
good
a high bar,
standard
man.
high.
That's a high bar.
Yeah.
I know.
Well,
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I think this is on par. I wouldn't say it's better than the Sam Smith, but it does not suck.
Yeah.
The best oatmeal stout I've had in a very long time.
I agree.
And I'm intrigued by the midnight wheat that's in there.
I've brewed with that before.
Yeah.
It's great. It gives a lot of color, but not that much flavor.
Right.
Yeah. Julie, you're the official stout lover here. So what do you think?
Well, first of all, it's very similar to what I call my homebrew.
Okay.
Anyways, so I wanted to, when I saw this, I'm like, oh, I gotta try this and see how they do.
It was a can art.
No, it was the name. It was
Totes
the name.
It's totally
I
different,
agree,
Mike.
yeah.
It wasn't the name. It wasn't the art. It was the
No,
name.
it was the name this time because that we've called my stout something similar for years. Anyways, it's great. I mean, I love the amount of flavor for the lower ABV. I love the smoothness. I love the slight sweetness, but you're still getting a nice amount of roastiness.
Yeah.
And it checks all boxes.
Yeah. There's definitely the finish on it is what I like because it's sort of like a nice dry kind of bitter finish at the very end. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, and I get the sense that if it warmed up, it wouldn't be a sugar bomb either. It would continue to have
Sure.
Yep.
some good balance.
I don't think it would lose all that balance if it warmed up a bit. Kendall's agreeing with me.
No, I don't think so.
I'm going to leave a little bit of it back.
Yep.
yeah,
We're not
to
gonna finish
warm
this,
for
so let it warm up.
warm for later.
Yeah.
I agree. Let's talk about it in the third segment. Did it hold up well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
For now, I think this is
But-
kind of solid.
I think we are going to rate this one a solid 4.
Cool. Do we have time for a story from Uncle Mike?
Well, I never thought that I would be talking about, fake meat, a cannibal, and an Arkansas football game in one story. But here we go. This is a story from Fayetteville, Arkansas. An executive at a vegan food product company has been charged with felony battery and making a terroristic threat from a fracas outside a football game in which he was accused of biting a man's nose.
What?
Yes.
Yeah, this is a true story.
The Beyond Meat Chief Operations Officer, Doug Ramsey, I should say the former Beyond Meat's Chief Operations Officer, Doug Ramsey, has been accused of a road rage attack outside Saturday's game between Arkansas Razorbacks and the Missouri State Bears in Fayetteville, Arkansas, according to the Fayetteville television station of KNWA. A police report says a 53-year-old Fayetteville man attacked another man who tried to inch in front of him into a parking garage traffic lane and made contact with a wheel on Ramsey's sport utility vehicle. A police officer responding to the reported distress to find 2 males with bloody faces, the report says. After speaking with Ramsey, I did not hit him. The other man and a witness, the officer determined that Ramsey had gotten out of his SUV and punched through the back windshield. Because I knock a sucker out. The driver of the other vehicle said he emerged from his car and Ramsey pulled him in close and started punching his body and also bit the owner's nose.
He bites.
Ripping the flesh of the tip of his nose.
Nobody likes a biter.
Oh, no.
That man and the witness also reported Ramsey threatened to kill the man over a parking spot.
No, because he
Must have been
clipped
a good
his
spot.
He made contact with his wheel.
So I the first thing that's striking me is I think that we're going to have to alter some of the interview questionnaires, the questions, which is, so have you ever currently or in the past recently bit anyone?
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, are you really a vegan, or do you enjoy meat?
Do you have a disposition towards cannibalism?
Yeah.
But you're just not willing to admit it.
I would never eat beef. Now, people, well,
Here at Beyond Beef, we don't practice what we preach.
well, you know, like with like tigers and like sharks and different things, they have to put them down. Like once they attack a human, they get a taste for human beings. So they have to hunt them down and put them down.
Yeah, which is kind of sad.
Because they'll never stop. So with this guy, now that he's tasted man's flesh, they have to put him down.
He's a Richard Daimler.
Yeah.
And for your punishment, we shall hang you because you have a taste of the sweet meat.
Yeah.
The sweet meat.
Wow, that's that kind of went different from where the rest of us were going. I think.
Is that similar to sweetbreads? I'm a little freaked out now.
It's just the whole conversation, right there in the parking garage. So let me get this straight. You put your fist through that man's windshield.
Like, how do you punch through a back windshield, man?
Did you think about biting him first and you need to get through the windshield to bite him, or how'd that go around? I want to know, was this a premeditated biting?
You are accused of heresy on 3 counts. Heresy by thought, heresy by word, heresy by deed, and heresy by action. 4 counts.
There you go. Absolutely.
Gee whiz, dude.
And what do you say? I mean, was it at the beginning of the ball game or after? That would be interesting, because it's like, are we going to all hold hands and go in and root for the Razorbacks together?
Yeah.
yeah, it's a weird story.
Yeah.
What kind of beer were they drinking?
So are they going to make a new like Beyond Nose kind of thing, or?
Wow.
What would the tasting panel like? For that guy? You know what? It has just a little bit too much nose for me. I think you need to back off on that just a little bit.
I prefer left nostril.
Yeah.
This has got a little too much right nostril to me.
Correct.
Yeah. Can taste the booger.
That's exactly why neither Dave or I are invited on these tasting panels. That's exactly what puts us out of the contention.
Yes.
Yes.
Nice.
All right.
Okay.
All right, what's next?
All right.
Yeah.
Good old boy Dave, pick a letter.
All right. Well, they say there is no I in team, but there is an I in beer if you spell it the German way. So I will choose letter I.
Okay. Well, this one is Vague Illusions Hazy IPA from Elder Pine Brewing and Blending in Gaithersburg, Maryland. 6.5% ABV. Hopwood Galaxy, Eldorado, and Idaho 7. What do we think?
It's kind of hard to follow up a oatmeal stout with a hazy boy, but
That's true.
Yep.
not bad though.
It's not bad. It's a hazy IPA. It tastes like so many of them that you've had, but it's well
Very
executed.
watery.
Little thin.
See, I think I like that though. I'm so tired of these ones that just fill you
Big,
up.
fluffy.
Yeah, super fluffy.
Oated
And this
body,
is not.
yeah.
I think that's why I like it.
Yeah, this is like a hazy APA.
I like the hop blend on this. Like that Galaxy kind of jumps out to me.
Yeah, it just is there Mosaic in this? Because it tastes like it. No, just Galaxy.
Galaxy Eldorado
And Idaho 7, yeah.
I don't know. It just feels very muted and watery to me. You know, I would definitely serve this to a Arkansas football fan.
Does it pair well with nose?
Has an affinity towards a little bit of nose.
Yeah.
You know, I think this strikes me as a beer that somebody would try and really wouldn't know the difference between something that's good and not good. You know, that would be it. And I don't think this is good. I think, no.
I think this
don't
is
like this beer.
Okay. I think this would go really well with crab, though, like, and lobster and seafood, you know,
I'd rather have that oatmeal stout. Yeah.
Sure.
Mike, we're not talking about that beer anymore. We're talking about this beer.
However, I think for the uneducated, this is a nice gateway.
Yeah.
You know, to
Easy drinking.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Nothing offensive.
They don't
Right.
all have to like challenge your palate. You know, sometimes it can just be
Watery.
a tasty little beer.
Whip
You know what? All beers are about 90% water. So, Reverend Mark, what do you think?
What I think is that it is not exploding with any pungentness as far as I can tell.
It ain't exploding on you?
Ain't exploding on me.
And yet a NEPA should boom, I think, just have the boom, boom, boom in it, you know, and it's just,
The boom, boom.
yeah, it just doesn't have it. I'm sorry, you know.
It's not going to the boom boom room with Mike.
The boom
Okay.
boom room.
No, that just reminded me of something, but I totally blanked on what it was. What was that band?
You're, with Fergie.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
Black Eyed Peas?
Black Eyed
Yeah,
Peas.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
He went
Right.
a little black eyed peas on us there.
Yeah.
Well, I was watching that, you know, the Saturday Night Live
Oh,
show
yeah, that episode last night.
Last
Yeah.
night. That's
Yeah.
what got me. Yeah.
That show's still
stuck
on?
in my
Wow,
head.
that's
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah.
I know. We haven't watched it in years.
Most people haven't, honey, but it's okay.
Well, but they do.
I guess.
I do every week.
Apparently.
Kendall's a hipster, though.
Well, I hope they get less watery. So that's all I got to say.
Okay.
this.
We are
Is
going to
it-
rate this one from Elder Pine a 3.
7 or 3. Keep trying, Elder Pine.
Yeah. That's some body to it all.
Well, we'll be back with more beer in just a minute. Welcome back, everyone. Thanks for staying with us. Today we are taking a tour of Maryland, and we have been talking about various beers from various breweries from Maryland. So next up is me, and I am going to pick the letter E, because why not? And that's the Bucka Shuck Helles Lager from Crooked Crab in Odenton, Maryland.
You had me at Helles Lager.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Okay.
I know somebody here at the table that loves Helles Lagers.
It's a collab with their friends at Crooked Run Fermentation. 4.8% ABV. It's a Munich-style pale lager brewed with local Bear Branch malts for a balanced sweetness and refreshing finish that pairs well with picking crabs and shucking oysters.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
why not?
Now, they also did the Totes My Oats.
They did.
Oatmeal Stout.
Yes.
So,
I'm liking this brewery.
Yeah, I am too.
It's another crooked brewery. There's a bunch of crooked breweries out there, but never heard of a crooked crab. But I like them.
Crooked Stave, Crooked Crab,
Crooked letter.
Crooked Letter. Yeah.
I think the first thing that strikes me is that this, when somebody says Helles Lager to me, again, I'm on guard for this is going to be too sweet. And that's what I love about this beer is that it is very in check. It's even a tad bit dry.
But I'm not mad about that.
Yeah.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
think that
Beautiful.
pairing, you know, specifically, you know, with Maryland crab and some good, you know, Old Bay is right on target. I could see they're sitting with a bunch of newspapers and popping crab for 2 hours and, you know, enjoying a very nice picture of this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm liking this because to me, a Helles is just beer flavored beer. Helles is beer, even to me,
Should be.
more so than Pilsner.
When it's done right.
Yeah.
It's got a great malty breadiness. There's enough hops there to balance it out, but it's not.
Well, he said he was
bitter.
there for the bad accents and the long belches.
Yeah,
So
he's doing his job today.
This is a really well executed Helles, and I'm enjoying it.
I think so too. And also and it's not low ABV for the style, but it, under 5%, you could drink a big stein of this and just the flavor would just cascade. It wouldn't, oh gosh. Yeah. I love it.
I mean,
this is my favorite.
You can't say that. Yeah, that's perfect, actually. The way it does kind of cascade, but in such a good way. And in this day of all the excessiveness that we tend to have, it's so nice to have something.
So,
yeah,
that's why it's even more special because there's not a lot of things for bad flavors to hide behind.
No, you've got to get it right.
This is what you drink after you've had a dessert stout.
Just to clear everything out.
Just to clear everything out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Well, these guys are great brewers. So I
really love this beer, and again, it's this style that you really have to walk a fine line. When somebody says I'm making a lager, first you're thinking something that's fairly crisp, a tad dry, but then when somebody says I'm making a Helles or a Vienna, you're like, ooh, how sugary is this going to get?
I know. You have reservations about it.
My radar goes up and I go, don't get carried away with it, too much. Just, kind of keep it all there in check, That would be really great. So I like this for what it's not, which is it's not overdone. It's absolutely within style all the way.
Why do you think some Helles lagers are too sweet? They just don't let it finish, or they just don't.
I think it
do the ingredients correctly, or I don't know.
The ones I've had, I think they've used a little too much malt, get it sweet, and they don't use enough hops because they're afraid that if I make this too hoppy, it'll taste like a Pilsner. So they don't use enough hops. But if you don't use enough to balance out that sweetness, you get a sugar bomb.
Yeah.
For those of you that are wondering how to make a really good one, give these guys a call.
Go to
class on them. Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
that is good.
Yep. This is the best beer of the flight I've had so far.
Okay.
Yeah.
We are going to rate this one a 5.
Can't believe that I sat here and I would go, I'm going to rate a Helles lager a 5 today.
Wow.
That's saying a lot. Yeah, because we love their Oatmeal Stout too.
Yeah. Hey, they're going 2 for 2, so I'm definitely giving them the legs up in this mixed flight for sure.
Okay. So, Kendall.
Well, I've already picked twice. I picked 2 beers already.
Well, but you picked so go ahead.
We cheated you.
Right. So we've done B, C, E, F, G, and I.
Let's go in the middle with D.
D. Oh, funny that you say that. Pils-Boh Baggins.
Oh, there we go. Also from Crooked Crab. So I'm looking forward to this Pilsner.
The Pils-Boh Baggins Bohemian Pilsner from Crooked Crab Brewing Company in Odenton, Maryland. 4.9% ABV. Do you have an unquenchable thirst from scaling the slopes of Mordor? Satisfy it with the refreshing Pils-Boh Baggins, our first ever Bohemian Pilsner, brewed with Pilsner and Vienna malts for crisp, clean, and drinkability and a 5+ charisma. Fermented colder than the peaks of the Misty Mountains with a traditional Czech lager yeast, then hopped exclusively with Czech Saaz for a delicate, floral, spicy, noble hop character. Drink responsibly because you have a long journey ahead of you.
That was a long description for this beer.
But I was watching Julie pour this, and it's gorgeous. Which is what I want to
So clear, man. So
clear, that yellow gold.
Yeah.
It does look very good.
It's very titillating.
Oh, that's
good. Great. Tell us how you really feel there, buddy. Make yourself at home.
It's a mid-episode hail.
Wow.
Yeah, I always love describing our show to other people. It's like, so what do you guys do? And I'm like, we really lean into the microphone and just burp. And
we have a lot of gas.
I'm like, it's like, what was your plan? Is there really ever a plan?
Oh, my.
That's clean.
That's remember, clean. This is a Bohemian Pilsner, that kind of then that Pilsner Urquell style. I'm even getting a little bit of that what I would
This
call
is
that
no
little
hops all the way, man.
You know, normally if you say diacetyl in a beer, that's a bad thing,
Right.
but it's in just very low levels. It's good in a Bohemian Pilsner, which Pilsner Kel has shown us.
Oh, this
and
is
I mean,
sauce
I'm
all
getting
the way.
that in this beer. This beer
Yep.
really reminds me of that.
And that really delicate floralness that's there. It's just,
Yeah.
it makes me so happy.
It's not overly bitter like
No.
a German Pils.
Yeah.
No, those noble hops, the Saaz. Also, just on the nose, and it's very faint, but there was just a little bready essence there. I just really like that.
I think good old boy Mike's going to have to fire up the Sip Suds and Smokes jet and take us to Maryland.
Odenton, Maryland.
Yeah. Odenton,
Well,
Maryland.
yeah, I mean, absolutely. They've gone 3 for 3 here for sure. And I have to say, this is the first Pils that I've had that came along since the Edmunds Oast, which was just such a fabulous Pils. And granted, that was a different style. This is actually a Czech Pils. I'm sorry, this is a Bohemian Pils.
Same thing.
Yeah, more or less
Well,
the same
trying to-
kind of
yeah.
deal.
But wow, what a wonderful beer. And the Saaz is really in great harmony with everything here. I think the only thing this is really short of is being kegged and thrown in the back of my vehicle. So this is a really great beer. And I have to say, I'm just, in terms of quality and going 3 for 3 in this flight in front of us, man, yeah, I have to say, if you've not gone to Crooked Crab Brewing, you need to stop by and check out the full
Yeah.
flight.
Yeah.
I would wonder on premises if you could get an unfiltered cask version of this.
That would be super.
You
would be
and
good.
I have a feeling that they would probably
Accommodate
do that.
us.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like the vibe that I'm getting. So the current brewer went to school at UC Davis. So he's got a very strong brewing background.
One of the best.
Technical,
And
yeah.
and I just have a feeling that, that he's okay with this. And what I love, and again, when I was picking stuff, I was kind of like, oh, this is a Pilsner. Hey, this is great. Like, I wanted to think outside the NEPA box of all that I was seeing.
Yeah.
I love the fact that they are traditional in what they're brewing. You know what I mean? And
so good.
And it's not, and I'm sure they have some trendy beers that are on tap as well. But for what I was able to get, I love the basicness of what they have and how well they're doing that.
I can't wait to see how their seltzers are. I mean,
Yeah.
Great beer.
Wow. Okay. Well, the Pils-Boh Baggins, we are going to rate a 5.
good grief, man.
2 5s in a row.
It's a small sample size, but I think we can maybe guess that Crooked Crab's one of the best breweries in Maryland.
Probably. I mean,
Yep.
It's pretty tough to go, 3 for 3, with this
two
palate.
fives.
And, yeah.
between those guys and the
I'm telling
guys that
you.
make Natty Boh, I mean,
Yeah, you got to throw in Natty Boh.
yeah.
So we talked earlier about letting the oatmeal kind of warm up. I haven't gone back to it yet, but I think it's about time we just take a quick sip of that.
Okay. Oh,
It
the
is not
aroma.
lost.
Oh.
It has actually got better.
It's
Yeah.
better.
Oh my gosh.
It's so creamy, smooth, man.
So the thing that's kind of come back into this taste profile, on top of just this really wonderful roast, is there is a hint of like a Tootsie Roll.
Yeah.
There's
Oh, 100%, man.
You knew the sugars were going to come around, but again, they are not overdone.
Just
This
that
is
nice
such a well-balanced,
chocolatey, yeah.
Yeah.
oatmeal stout.
Enough
So-
hops in there to just balance
Oh
it
my
out.
gosh, that's still just amazing.
The
Fantastic.
texture on it is
Yeah, sorry.
killer.
I didn't want to forget and let everybody know
No,
that we
no.
really did go back and taste that after it's warmed up for about a half hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Wow. Yeah, that's. Oh, and how it's lingering on the tongue. Oh,
It's
yeah.
my battle
such a-
cry.
Yeah.
I think I need to road trip to Maryland.
Dave's thinking that's a cry for help.
I'm just hoping Mike's belch doesn't linger the way that beer did. Good grief.
I just need a plate of oysters and just a sign that says,
I don't think you do.
go away, Dave.
All right. We got 2 left. So either pick A or
A
H.
is for apple. It's good enough for me.
Okay. So A,
A
please.
is also for, well, never mind.
A is for the session, the Monowi Session IPA from
Alrighty.
Cushna.
The Monowi Session IPA from Cushna Brewing Company in Williamsport, Maryland. 4%, just in time for the dog days of summer to come around. We came with the ultimate crusher to help carry you through the heat. This small IPA is dry hopped with Amarillo, Citra, and Azacca. All the hop or aromatics and flavor you'd expect in a better beer. I mean, in a bigger beer. Just in a light, low ABV package.
Rude.
This is why I don't get hired for voiceovers. So
It's one of the reasons.
yeah, one of many.
Can't imagine.
Oh, hey,
Can't imagine.
got a gusher there.
Yeah, I'll take the high
You're
pour.
gonna take the first foamy pour there.
Yeah, don't give the extra gas to Mike.
Yeah, right, sure. It looks very good, in the glass itself. I
Nice
have to say
aroma
that.
to it.
Yeah, nice aroma. Super,
Oh, very fruity.
Yeah.
super light bodied. You're drinking a low ABV beer.
Hops
Really
and
easy drinking,
apples.
but it's like unlike so many session IPAs that are just so light, they're watery. This one actually has a good mouthfeel to it.
Yeah.
This has a pop of tang, almost like an apple-like quality on it, I think.
This says to me that they built this session IPA recipe from the ground up, and it's not a scaled down IPA
That
recipe.
never works.
no,
never
no,
works. This
no.
this is enjoyable.
Yeah.
You could definitely crush a few of these.
Yep.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't. I think it was the thing that was scary to me is that they used the word bigger beer in describing the session IPA. I'm like, oh man, this is going to be a sweet, junked up, hoppy mess.
Yeah.
But
No.
it's not.
Yeah. Everything's in proportion.
Yeah.
I think.
It's very easy.
Yeah, it's that apple thing, that almost the tart, front of the taste profile that's kind of capturing my attention, that I find that's very unique. There's a crisp, kind of quality that you have about this. Probably if you had not told me this was an ale, I almost would have gone so far to say, it might be a lager.
Oh man, I wish you hadn't said that, because I was kind of thinking the same thing, and
Wait,
I never enjoy it when you and I
Wait,
think the same thing.
who thought, what is going on here?
Wow, they've agreed twice.
Mike and I
today.
have officially been together for too long.
Oh man, please send help.
Wow.
Once
Is there a
again.
remediation class?
But I'm getting, kind of a wheat beer aspect to it as well.
Oh, yeah.
Just very dry and
It makes you wonder if they didn't throw in something like that to give it a little body.
Yeah. Well, it's crazy, man. Like how many different things we're getting out of this little bitty 4% beer.
And there's a lot that we're getting out of this 4% beer.
Yeah.
Like
So-
a lot.
Wow.
Okay. Well, we are going to rate the Monowi Session IPA from Cushna a 4.
Yeah, I think they could have gotten lost in that, really quick. It could have turned out very watery or felt like it was just a giant muted version of something.
Yeah.
Awesome flight. Oh my gosh.
Good flight.
We need to fire up the G7 and go to Crooked Crab.
Crooked
Yeah, I'm all for
crab.
that.
Hang on, let me call the pilot.
These guys are making great beer.
Yeah.
They are.
I think
They
some
are.
of the other ones were pretty solid too, though.
Yeah,
So
every
I mean,
beer we've had has been really solid.
Dying to know what their distribution, footprint looks like, because they need to expand whatever they're doing.
straight to Nashville.
Yeah, we'd be okay with that. Well, that's going to do it. And I have to say, this has been a really great.
Interesting flight.
wow.
Yeah.
good
I feel like we're just getting started.
I know, right? All right. Good old boy Kendall, thanks for being here.
It was a pleasure being here.
Please tell us about your blog.
My beautiful wife and I blog about the good news of good beer at beermakes3.com.
And cheers to that. Good old boy Mike.
Hey, thanks for
being
joining us here on Sip Suds and Smokes for this episode. Come back and join us for another exciting episode. I will ask you to keep on sipping.
here. Reverend Mark, thanks so much for being here with us.
Great to be here today, as always.
Good old boy Dave.
Screw you guys. I'm going home.
But you are home.
He hasn't used that one in a while.
I know. Yeah. Digging
You guys
out from
were
the
due.
archives.
You were all due.
I'm due all right.
This is good old Gal Juliana. Thanks so much for joining us today. Cheers and keep on chuggling.
We hope you enjoyed this episode. If you're listening to us online, do yourself a favor and tap
Tap it in.
the subscribe button.
Give it a little tappy. Tap, tap, tap-a-roo.
The easiest way to listen to our show is to ask Siri, Alexa, Google, Uncle Larry, or whoever it is that talks to you on your phone. Play podcast Sip, Suds, and Smokes. We love your feedback, and you can reach us at info@sipsudsandsmokes.com. Our tasting notes flow out on Twitter and Instagram with our handle @SipSudsAndSmokes, and our Facebook page is always buzzing with lots of news. You'll also be able to interact with the thousands,
millions, and millions
of other fans on those social media platforms. Do us a favor. Take the time to rate this episode if you're listening to us online. That's a big help to us, and we get to see your feedback as well. Come back, join us for another episode, and keep on sipping.
This has been a One Tan Hand production of Sip, Suds, and Smokes, a program devoted to the appreciation of some of the finer slices of life. From the Dude in the Basement Studios, your hosts, the Good Old Boys, will see you all next time.